we're gonna do.
Oh. Hello. Hi. Good evening.
I think I got it right. Well,
That's a pretty shirt.
well, thank you. All my dirty work shirts.
So you moved Empire Drip Supply, it's not, I noticed the
Yes.
sign was gone.
Just took that sign down last week.
Uh-huh,
We're over on South Geneva now. Used to be Cranes. Guy had big commercial cranes and but he lost his best operators during COVID. They said, "Well, they're going to retire." And he said the other guy didn't want to work. So he sold his business to a bigger company. Then they hired him to open a branch in Fort Lauderdale. Well, he said, "Well, I don't need."
that's quite a move.
So I need a warehouse. Made a decent price on it. Hello. Kevin?
Mr. Edner, how are you?
Oh, peachy.
Attaboy.
Pardon?
Attaboy.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Linda.
Hello. Okay. I didn't know if this was gonna be just a Zoom meeting or if in person also. Kevin's thing said it was gonna be or a Zoom conferencing.
Well, it's called.
From the bottom.
Okay.
To the right.
Okay, we're gonna change the order on this. We're gonna
Oh,
move guide sides to first. So it's marine for second. Using the scheduling problem they have.
okay, Tide Science is first, and what was second?
Maxim. The second one down station.
Okay,
So we're going to follow with Cottrell Smith, Rita and Doherty.
Pardon me?
Follow those two with in the same order as before.
All right, Sharon.
Cottrell Smith, Rita, and then Doherty.
Yeah.
So is Eureka still fourth?
You would then be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, fine, so we went down one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Once you get past the first one, I should go there.
okay.
hopefully, so.
Yeah. And,
Oh, okay, I think it's
it's fine, yeah. Well,
Hi, Kathy.
Hello, planning board. This is John Maxon signed on.
Alright. All right.
Yeah. Hi, John, we can hear you just fine.
Okay, great, thanks. Son John will be arriving shortly.
I'm here.
Oh, okay,
He has identified himself as being present accounted for.
all right.
We got you moved to, you'll be the second on the list.
Okay, thank you.
Janine, maybe she didn't say she wasn't. Daryl's got tied up and had to run his trips,
Oh, yeah.
business trips.
Oh. Bill coming? As far as you know?
No. Check. Saturday, say it wasn't. Text wasn't. Yeah. If he won't be here.
He will not.
Came up. Subject to name of the here. Take a road. Kevin. You Kevin.
Hey, Linda, there is a item to be corrected on last meeting's minutes. It says I voted for the first item, but I wasn't here, so We should probably have me not voting. Sounds a little
Okay,
too much like
the
Chicago.
6/20/23.
On the 6/20/23, yes, okay.
I didn't get you.
No worries.
The sign-in sheet.
Here are the applicants right now.
Okay. I don't know who those people are there.
Hey, Kevin. Kevin. You. Hey. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, it looks like we're live.
The meeting, yeah, welcome.
I got another meeting, so.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Yep. Thank you, sir. Kids on his way home, he'll jump on Zoom. Matthew said she may join us. Hello, Janine.
Hello. Sorry, I had another meeting.
You didn't stay at Young's very long the other night.
No, I had. Other plan. I had one actually.
Okay, as soon as Janine returns, we'll start the meeting. I'd like to welcome everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Next one will be is back. So, we're gonna call this meeting to order. The meeting was advertised in the Wayne Times and it was posted on the website. We do have a quorum, 4 people. Change the order of the agenda a little. We're going to move the change of work order for a tide side to number 1. Then the John Maxon Swiss Marine to 2, due to conflicts there. And then proceed with the rest of it. Okay. The change of work order should have occurred before now. I take full blame for it not occurring sooner. It got fell through the cracks with the heavy load that we've had and some of our more involved meetings, and I apologize. At that original meeting, we Ms. Fogarty said it would be 238 square foot with 7 by 7. Janine, did you mean 7 feet like long or 7 feet long and 7 feet high?
7 by 7, so like the,
On the side.
yeah.
All right, okay, the height to be the same as the existing building, which is 10.5 feet. I received a call the next day from Kevin Dressel, the CEO, saying that his calculation showed that we would need 12 feet to meet code.
12 feet in height.
Yes. I took the initiative and said, that'll be fine, we'll get the change in work order, which slipped through the cracks. As it is, it seems that Mr. Martin's architect was smarter than Kevin, and he found a way to meet code. Shorter slope, so his walls are closer to 10. But that still puts him quite under the original plan of 23.5 inches. So, your thoughts? Don't change it or not? Yeah, other option is he has to pick it down.
The actual height of the structure, it is the structure as built, 7 feet on each side.
7 feet long, not 7 feet high.
Right,
Yeah.
which was our discussion, as I recall,
Yes, we
at
were
that meeting.
shrinking the footprint.
Yeah. And then the structure as built is how high, Bruce?
The structure at the peak is 12 foot now.
Oh, it's 12 feet. Okay. And we had previously approved 10.5.
All right.
I realize that it's in excess of what we had previously approved. And I think our original discussion that evening was opposition to such a large footprint structure, as well as the height of the structure as it was originally proposed. I'm not particularly troubled by the look of it. It turned out suitable in my view. So I don't have any objection to it.
Kathy, what are your thoughts?
I have no
Problem?
I have no issue with it. I agree. I thought it was not obtrusive and it kind of fit what I thought it should be.
Okay. Well, then I would need a motion to approve the change in work order.
Just said it was a public meeting. Are we gonna be able to have input on it?
David, the answer was no.
It says in the minutes that you can't have public input.
The website,
Says right on the website, public.
public speak,
Pardon me. Not on a change of work order.
then you should have revised it back and stated that.
Thank you.
And tell me those that.
That's on you guys.
I will make sure next time I have a change of work order, that's it.
And by the way, when did you put this work, or when did Brandon put this work order in? What day was it?
The,
Do you know?
application was approved on April 17th.
Okay, but what about the one for tonight?
It is a change of work order, which I said he could do on April 18th. As I explained before everybody, it's fallen through the cracks. I apologize. We're taking care of it tonight. Now,
He's put a building up that shows that that roof could have been put on.
Pardon
I don't care if it's part of it or
Dave?
not. You said it was a public
Dave?
meeting and you're not allowing it.
Right.
Dave, if I have.
And I live in.
Go ahead, Bruce, go ahead. Everybody's live in this whole thing.
And it's all been pushed underneath the rug, and you keep on pushing it forward. Ridiculous. You don't live on South Shore. I do.
Pardon me. If I need to. The.
Yeah, I know. You won't answer my emails when I send it to you?
I
That's
have,
right. Kevin lied to me in the beginning of it, and now you're you're passing something without even letting anybody even speak about it.
Dave,
No, that gave nothing. You know I'm
Where's
right.
where's the sewage gonna go at?
all right, I will go 911 as I was instructed.
Oh, now you're
He's
instructed, now you're instructed.
Who's instructing you?
We had physical threats made today against employees. So if I need help,
We're not in 911 to any employees.
you are,
We're just questioning
you
a
are
public
disrupting
meeting,
the meeting.
but it's a
I have
public
asked you to
meeting.
stop. Thank you for stopping. Let's have a vote.
You don't have a quorum. It's not a vote.
Joe, rules because you won't face the. public
Robert's
at what
rules
you're
of
doing.
order, right?
Would not go through with this. That's the book of rules.
I move that we approve the change of the work order.
All right.
To increase the height to 12 feet.
I don't know, I don't know now.
All
I'm gonna change my
Yes,
mind
sir.
a little bit. No,
right. Okay.
Tell
Bill?
them, tell them.
How about yes?
Ridiculous one-sided, yes, all
I
one-sided.
vote yes, it's 3-1. The work order has been approved. Okay, Mr. Maxim, you'll step up and present your project. That's fine.
Good evening, John Maxson from Soda Spring. I'm here to present our preliminary site plan for our fourth metal storage building. Our marina business is growing and we're looking to accommodate the increased demand in boat storage. This building will have the same footprint as the previous building that we constructed, 60 feet by 200. It will be the same styling and color as the other buildings to create a uniform look. There will be no electric or water service needed for this building. There was a little confusion between Kevin and I before this meeting about the parcel number. I did check in with him before the meeting, though. He's going to make an update on the application. So it's the parcel that actually has the existing storage buildings on it.
On the previous building that we approved, you had only one entrance. Originally, we requested a second egress. Will this building have a second egress?
It'll have two entrances, two sliding barn doors.
On each end?
Yes, yes.
Oh, it doesn't appear that way in the drawings, though, John. Are you aware of that?
I was not.
Yeah, it shows the one end with no opening.
I will have that revised.
So your intention is to provide the same sliding doors on both of the short ends.
That's correct.
east and west, I guess it would be.
More flexibility to load and unload when the launch season comes.
And the drawings that we received, are you finished, Bruce? I'm sorry.
Well,
Okay, the drawings we received, John, it's not clear to be able to read some of the dimensions. The height of the building,
It
it
would
appears to
be,
be 20-foot walls,
it's
perhaps.
20 foot to the bottom board, and then the trusses are pre-manufactured to be 11 feet high.
So that would make the overall building height 31.
31, correct.
And what commonly occurs is there's some site preparation that takes place, and there's a buildup of the area under the building. So will that take place as well, so that the overall height of the building is greater than 31 feet over the existing dirt out there, if you will?
I'm not familiar enough with the construction process to know if it would be above that. That's all.
How
Ke-
high, how?
Kevin, are you listening in, Kevin?
I am, yes.
Okay, and what's our requirement for building, our restriction on building height?
He's industrial zoned. So give me 1 second and I can tell you. But I believe it's either 35 or 40 over there.
35.
Let's see.
I notice on your map that that barn will cover the existing.
At 35, Bill.
Pardon me?
35 feet, sorry.
Thank you, Kevin.
It should go up to that drive, just still allow for the travel lift and any vehicles that would have to come through.
All right, 'cause
It doesn't.
on the drawing here, the drive that runs along the east-west there on the north side is totally covered.
That was also my concern.
So,
Yeah. Well,
Here,
I guess I have it positioned so that it doesn't cover that drive. And I have the calculator here as well.
all right.
Now that roadway is essential for our operation to get the travelers through, so we really can't impede on.
So, do you own that adjacent parcel of property? Okay, okay. So it's, even though it's within 10 feet of that property line, you own that
That's
property on the other side of that
yes,
property line.
and it's actually 10 feet. It's not less than 10.
Yeah, it seems to.
And is there any intention or thought to combine those parcels to eliminate that property line issue?
Not at this time. So sorry, I don't understand. Is there an issue with the property line?
Well, you're going to be seeking a variance, not here, but at the zoning board for.
Yeah, it's 25 feet for an industrial zone for the side that it wants, John. That's what the industrial zone needs from the side.
Oh, okay. Wasn't aware of that.
So the point is, John, that corner. That corner on your drawing to the property line is 10 feet. And so you're going to be seeking a variance for that if that property line didn't exist, because you were to roll those two properties together. It would be a non-issue from a zoning perspective.
But you do own this property right here.
That's correct.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, because one of my questions was if that's you're gonna be using somebody else's property to get in that east
Right,
door.
right, that's
If you don't-
different, yeah.
Own that. And that would be a future issue if we were to sell that other parcel.
Sure, sure.
I'm still confused about the driveway.
Okay,
Because from the drawing we have, it totally obscures the driveway going, is it east-west?
Basically, yeah.
I mean, which is fine if that's, but
We either have to, put a new one in, or it'd be very, cumbersome to go all the way around.
Yeah, particularly if there was a travel lift involved.
so
Do you-
the driveway are referring to, is it on the north side of?
Yeah.
Yes,
On the north side,
it's this driveway here, right? That runs parallel to the concrete buildings.
Yes,
So it's going to be on top of that.
no,
According to this drawing, it is.
it's under the both lines of the driveway.
I'll show you where we're looking. So here's the driveway here, and right here.
No, this is the driveway. Sarah. Oh, is this?
Okay, so it's not where I thought it was. Okay. Because when I was out there,
look like grass where you.
yeah,
Right.
that didn't look like the driveway to me. Like it's not wide enough. Is it?
From the, slope to the current gravel, just from,
Okay.
oh, did you step off?
I, no, I used to take pictures.
Oh, even better.
Okay, so you're saying that this is to the side of the driveway.
Bottom line, your intention is to put it south of the existing driveway?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
We wanted to keep it as close to the property line as we could, just to help block the view of the boatyard from Centel Street. That was kind of an added bonus on the location selection, just to not have to look at abandoned boats every time to remove.
Just understand that shift may actually put the corner of the building closer to that property line issue. As you move it south, the orientation of the building is actually gonna,
We would have to move it west, away from the
Oh.
property line.
okay,
Yeah, sorry, we want to keep it close to that driveway, but not over it.
Okay.
okay,
And-
got it. Yeah, we're both thinking the same.
Well, and I'm sure you'll have those changes, when we come back. I'm sure you're pretty good at building. Okay. Kathy, you have any questions? Me? No, any others?
Well, I guess I'll go back to your original question, Bruce, and the question, John, is can someone who is inside the building always exit the building from inside through those doors? Are those doors locked?
No, they're not locked.
Okay, so they're not going to be locked. They're able to be opened.
Right.
Okay. So
Sliding.
So there's not a latch on them that if something happened that a person was in the building and there was a fire in a boat on the east end of the building, they could exit doors safely going out the west side.
Yes, yes. I'm sorry, I do have a follow-up question though. The 25-foot mark from the left side of the property line. Is that specific to industrial? Because
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's what Kevin advised us.
Motion.
Wait. Just make sure you do public comment for this one. This is one of the ones that's advertised for public comment. And you'll need seeker because I got to send it to county. So you'll need 2 and 3 for this one after public comment.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll start with the people in the room. If you have a comment on this application, please stand and let us hear you. All right, we don't hear anybody. If you're on Zoom and wish to speak on this, please unmute yourself and speak.
This is John Mack. I've got a question for Kevin. Kevin, in the waterfront management law, isn't there something related to water-related use for the property that it might be considered instead of industrial? Don't you have a category for water-related business in zoning?
The marina. It's just the zoning of the lot. It's the actual zoning district. So you're zoned industrial district. So you're a marina in a zoning district is industrial zone. So if you go to zoning district map, you'll see it's industrial zoned. So go to Google and do Sodas Point zoning district map. And you'll see that.
I looked at it. I was
Yeah.
just, I thought there was a classification for water-related industry that may have made it like a W/C classification.
The WC, yeah, there's a zoning district for it for WC on the map. I can do research and see if it changes for it, but as far as I know, it doesn't change it to a WC. It's still the industrial district.
And what is WC?
WC is waterfront commercial.
Okay.
So you have residential, waterfront commercial, limited commercial, residential, and then industrial, and then P for public, or N for natural.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else on Zoom wish to speak, please unmute yourself.
Yes, I have a question. I wanted to know, where is the entrance of the driveway? What's the street entrance that's going to be the main point of entry into the marina?
Into the boatyard. That would be either off Centel or off 14.
Off 14. Where off 14 is it going to be? Directly by the entrance as it is now, close to the current entrance?
They have a right of way to move the boat across that parking lot, yes.
Okay, but no entrance from the South Shore Road facility or streets?
They're not on South Shore.
Oh, well, there's the back entrance, kind of a roundabout way, but I just wanted to make sure that was not in the picture.
I think you're confusing with Tide Sides. This is Sodas Marine.
I think you might mean Margaretta Road. Do you mean Margaretta Road?
It's clear Margaretta, but like Frog Pond Alley.
Yeah, I think you're confusing Tidesides Marina with Sodas. This is the Sodas Marina.
I'm sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Okay, I'll answer it later, ask it later.
Any other comments from the Zoom? I hear none, so close public comment. Pardon me? Can I speak? I guess we got feedback. All right, the seeker. Number one, the proposed action only involve adoption of the plans. The answer is no. So the proposed action require permit, approval, or funding from any other government agency? No. Kevin, do you have the total acreage of this for this zoning?
Is that a question for me, Bruce? I'm sorry.
We're on number 3A.
Yep.
Total acreage.
I can look it up quickly. Give me 1 second.
6.
10.86.
Correct.
All right, thank you. Total acreage to be physically served. Can we just put in the dimensions?
0.275.
0.275. Thank you. All right, C. The acreage project site and any contiguous properties owned or controlled by the applicant or project sponsor.
12.36. That includes the parcel to the right.
Thank you. Check all land uses that occur on or adjoining the proposed industrial, commercial. Does the RV park count as residential? Kevin?
Nick, you asked RV park. I would say no. I think that's commercial.
All right. So just industrial and commercial will be checked. Number 5 is a proposed action permitted under the zoning regulations. Yes.
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 Is it consistent with the adopted comprehensive plan? Yes.
Yes.
Number 6, is the proposed action consistent with the predominant character of the existing built or natural landscape?
Yes.
Yes.
Number 7, is the site of the proposed action located in or does it adjoin a state listed environmental area?
No.
Number 8, will the proposed action result in substantial increase in traffic above the present level?
Yes.
No.
Why not?
Substantial increase?
Well, this is for our vehicle zone access storage facility.
Number 8B, public transportation services available at or near the site of the proposed action.
No.
No.
C, are any pedestrian accommodation or bicycle routes available on or near the site of the proposed action?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the transportation plan provides bicycle path on Santal, for example.
Pardon me?
Does the transportation plan include bicycle path on Santal that would make this say yes?
I don't believe so. Kevin? The comprehensive plan, does that include a bicycle route down Santal?
I don't believe so. There's the ATPs right behind you somewhere on the wall. It's more towards the door. Do you see anything on Centel? Because I thought it was just 14.
I thought it was 14.
Yeah, I don't believe it's down Centel. And you're just doing the short form, right? You're not doing the long form? I don't know the question you're on.
The short.
Okay, perfect.
Janine is looking, Kevin.
I don't see anything else in
All right.
She doesn't see anything on
We'll say
Santal,
no.
so I guess that's a no.
All right. Number 9, does the proposed action meet or exceed state energy code requirements? Proposal will exceed requirements described in the design feature. No. it doesn't.
Is there going to be electric in the building? It's just a storage building.
10, will the proposed action connect to an existing public or private water supply?
No,
Will the proposed action connect to an existing water utilities?
So,
no,
Does the site contain a structure in the listed that is listed on either state or national historic places?
no,
Is the proposed action located in an archaeological sensitive area?
no.
no,
Kevin,
I believe they're actually out of it, but I can check the map. But I believe they're out of it over there because they answered no last time and it didn't hit.
all right,
If you wanna put yes, and we can err on the side of caution. I know they did a Chris cover last time. Costage did it for them. So if you want to put yes, you can put yes to err on the side of caution.
okay.
okay, we'll say yes then. Okay, number 13, does any portion of the site of the proposed action or lands joining the proposed action contain wetlands or other water bodies regulated by a federal or state local agency?
Does any portion of the land
Not that I can
get
see. on
touched
the-
into the creek
Uh,
over on the south side?
that I'm not sure about, but I saw that it didn't have any wetlands listed on
No,
it.
there's no wetlands. Kevin,
We have a wetlands
the
map.
question is about the stream there.
Okay, hold on. New York State and pull it open for it.
While he's looking that up, I think we can do 13B.
Could I just go back to 9? Because I'm afraid that might, if we say no to that, it might look as if to the state that he's not going to meet any state energy code requirements if we say no. I think we should just say
Good
yes,
point. Good
even
point.
though
Say
he's not going
Not
to put,
applicable, yes.
because there is no NA.
Yeah.
So since he is not gonna have any, I don't wanna jeopardize that being a red flag for a state.
All right, Kevin, if there's no electricity on number 9, does the proposal meet or exceed the energy code requirement?
Thing to remember is it's yes is, so the questioning is yes is large impact, no is small to moderate, right?
Right.
So think of it in that term instead of the NA or the yes or no.
Well, we don't give it any option, it's just yes or no.
Yeah.
Large.
So I can't answer it for you.
Right, it's not a large, I'm just questioning it because I didn't want this to be a red flag for him.
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
Not putting any electricity in.
Yeah, you can justify it in your notes. You can put it as a reasoning for why you answered it a certain way, yes or no. Just put a little asterisk or in your minutes. You can say number 9 was answered yes or no because of whichever reasoning. If that makes sense. Does that work for you, Kathy, or no?
Yes, that does, but it works for me,
So
so
I'll include unless there's no.
there's no electricity, right?
Yeah. And I don't see so across the road is the Genesee Land Trust, and I don't see anything to the south.
You don't see it to the south, wetlands.
No, I don't see it to the south. I can check the well, I can check the federal. All right, I do see that to the south. And that's the federal. but that lines up with Siemens Street, so I don't believe he would be in line with that. Looking at where this falls on the GIS.
The federal wetland lines up with Seaman Street, you're saying?
It's to the west of Siemens Street. So I do want me to share this screen. Would that be helpful?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Okay. And then I can kind of explain what we're looking at. I gotta take host. Let me know when you guys can see it.
Okay, we can see it.
All right, so this is Siemens Street. The project location is over here on the border. This is what Joel just Doherty just dealt with once he was over here in the fallout. So
So
federal over here.
the red box on the map is.
That's Bruce.
area we're talking about.
That's Bruce Carey's property. It's the closest whenever I do 7399, it hits over here. His barn is more over in this location. I just was saying the federal, I think this is what you guys are talking about. The federal is back in here and here. So the feds have a wetland, and that's the dark green. State has the light green, and then the fallouts. And then the blue is the water body.
Right. So I'm just looking at scale. The one where your pointer is currently located, that's actually west of where Seaman Street would
Yep.
come in, which is beyond there.
Yeah, the trolley turnaround bed is right here. The RV park is somewhere in here. The Yacht Works is like right here. Yeah.
And so the question is, does any portion of the site of the proposed action or lands adjoining the proposed action contain wetlands or other water bodies regulated by federal, state, or local agency? It would be a land adjoining the proposed property action.
So it would be,
So,
but is it a large?
yeah, it would be a yes, but it would be small. My view.
It would be a no.
So then it'd be a no. Yeah,
So is that a no?
Yeah, that's a no.
no, because it's a
Okay.
small.
It's a no, and B is a no also. Number 14,
Thanks, Kevin.
identify the typical habitat types that occur on or are likely to be found on the project site. Check all the shoreline, no. There's no wetlands on the site. Forests, urban. Suburban, early mid succession. Be the only one I could think of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Early mid successional. Does the site of a proposed action contain any species of animal or associated habitats listed by the state or federal government as threatened or endangered? No.
no,
Is the project located in a 100-year floodplain? No. Will the proposed action create stormwater discharge either from point or non-point sources? Yes.
is that a large?
Well, it's 120 feet by.
I'm just asking because I don't know.
no, 60 by 200. Yeah, it's
Okay.
good runoff. There won't be gutters. There will be gutters.
I don't think so.
Will the stormwater discharge flow adjacent properties? No.
No.
Will the stormwater's discharge be directed or to the extent of conveyance systems, runoff and storm drains?
No.
I don't believe so.
I don't believe so. I'll say no myself. Okay. Number 18, does the proposed action include construction or other activities that result in the impoundment of water or other liquids?
No,
No,
As the site of the proposed action or adjoining property been the location of an active or closed solid waste management facility?
no,
no,
As a site of the proposed action or adjoining property been subject to remediation ongoing or completed for hazardous waste?
no.
Now, I'll get that form filed tomorrow.
You need to make a motion?
Well, yes. That's Wednesday night. Okay. Okay, are there any other questions from the board before we ask one more?
no.
No.
Okay, I have a motion now.
I move that we approve the preliminary site plan review, John Maxim 7399 Route 14 to construct a 12,000 square foot building for stamp plans, 10 feet from side property line, where 25 feet is required. As long as this is a recommendation to the zoning board.
Right. Very good.
Subject to the addition of the east door to the drawings. East door? Yeah, east door to the drawings.
Okay,
I don't mean to interrupt your motion. Can you make that to the county planning board?
Oh, thank you. Yes,
we'll
so
get to the
county planning board first before zoning.
Yeah, so,
Thank
all
you.
right.
Thank you, Kevin.
You think we got you on so. All right, I think we started with Kathy last time, so let's start with you, Bill.
I'll approve the motion.
Janine,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
and I said yes, so we want to step closer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you for your patience.
All right. We could have Sharon present your project.
Well, hopefully after the last two, this will be easy. My husband James and myself are proposing a new deck on our property. Right now, we have a 40-year-old deck that needs to be gone. We're also extending it out a couple feet on both sides. It's an L-shaped deck currently. We want to extend it out 2 feet on the south side and 2 feet on the east side. And put a roof over the part of the south side, a 10 by 12 foot roof that's no higher than the existing roof line.
10 by 12 or 10 by 24?
The roof will be 10 by 12. The deck will be 10 by 24.
Okay.
And that lines up with the existing house.
Other questions? Kathy, any questions?
No,
No?
No, Bruce,
All right.
it's pretty
I
straightforward.
have no questions. I have a motion.
And we
Wait,
don't
public-
need
Public
water.
comment
Oh, public comment.
listed for public, any of the preliminaries I have for public comment.
Public comment. Sorry. Yeah, but rushing, I apologize. All right, anybody in attendance have a comment? Anybody on Zoom have a comment, please mute yourself. Kevin, we don't need a seeker on this, do we?
No, it's not unlisted, or it's actually type 2 action.
Okay, and we don't need a WAP, do we?
That's up to you guys as a board. You've always kept kind of tradition that it's within 25 foot of a water's edge. Up to you if you want to change that and do more restrictive. It's up to you.
No, it's more than 25 feet from the water's edge. All right. Now I'll ask for a motion again.
I'll move that we approve the application as submitted.
Okay. Do I have a second on that?
Second,
All right. Janine, how do you vote?
yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
I vote yes, unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you. Are we set then? Do we have to come back again or?
So they do have to come back for final, just as process requires. Can they start any demo work, or do you not want them starting anything? What do you guys want Sharon doing?
As far as I'm concerned, you can rip it off. Just
Yeah.
real.
Okay. And then what do you need for the next meeting?
Okay, our next meeting will be on the. Where are we on that calendar?
31st.
No, that would be the.
Seventh.
So.
And what do you need us to bring or what do you need for at that point in time?
Just what you got,
Is what, I'm sorry?
just what you have.
Okay,
Nothing more than you've already brought.
okay.
Thank you.
That's easy enough. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, you as well.
Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, if you'd step up, please.
Good evening, I'm Don Lewis, DH Lewis Engineering, representing the Smiths, Antonio and Joanna Smith.
Did you catch us there?
Don Lewis,
Wow.
sorry.
Go ahead.
The Smiths are here tonight to, with an application to construct, for a site plan to construct two separate residences, one a modular home and one their primary residence on the property. The site plans submitted show the driveway access, sanitary and water connections out to the town's municipal lines out on Lake Road. I believe the property address is 8141, or the tax rolls don't show an address number, but that's what Kevin's calling it. So I'm sure you're familiar with where the property is there. It's slightly east of the Cedar Road comes in right there, by the sewer plant. So the last manhole for the sewer for the village on that high crest of the property is just to the east of them. And that's where we're having connection for both of the sanitary pump stations that will come across, go down their driveway, across the road and connect into the town's municipal mains.
And that line is on the south side of.
It's on the south side, that's correct. Much like we did, I did the project on the west side of Seaman Road. There's 5 lots in there, same thing, we brought out 3 of those out of that section. The property does have a secondary eagle's nest tree on it.
How do you know it's secondary and not primary?
Was kind of the conversation, the primary one is on the property next door, and that's what it's been deemed by the US Fish and Wildlife.
Okay.
In
So,
other words, it's the new nest
It's the what?
The new nest.
The new nest is,
as opposed to the old nest.
so you see that if you're familiar with those properties, how a lot of that area has been cleared out, but those 2 trees
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah,
stay
yeah.
in there. Yeah, you can see the nest when you're on the property itself. So this one is within the 100-foot buffer of the setback off the lake's top of back, and we're 120 feet, I think, from that line. But it's in that zone. The way the house is positioned, the main house is positioned, there's a gully there, and it comes, but the tree is between the house and the lake's edge. So we won't, we're making application to Fish and Wildlife to make sure that whatever notes we have to have on there for construction periods, nesting times, all of that, those notes will be on there, and we would have to adhere to the strict construction and those will be noted on the plan, on the final plans for signature. There is also, and I didn't think this was an issue, but I talked with Kevin about it. There's a wetland on the south side of the road. Of course, with the DEC, they put a buffer on it, that's a check zone, but the DEC's wetland is 25 feet off the road down in a gully. So, but the check zone crosses the road and goes onto their property. So I've got to call into Scott Findell at the DEC to find out if we actually have to do a delineation, because the road itself is a barrier and there's no hydraulic connection onto our property. There's no culvert pipe that dumps onto it. It's not like that. It ends right at the road. But because the check zone shows on the Smith's property, I either need to get a letter, but he was trying, it was Friday. I was trying to get people to, across, he said, there's people across the hall from me. I'll look at it and see if I can get you a letter by Monday night. So either way, they're looking into it, see if we have to do a delineation at all. So, but there are no wetlands shown on the state's wetland map or on our properties.
As I discussed with the Smiths when I met with them, whatever we decide is going to be contingent upon DEC.
Correct.
And Fish and Wildlife.
And Fish and Wildlife.
Like it's all right, DEC. How far did you say the main house would be from that secondary field?
I think it's 89 feet, I think it's
From the center of
the tree to the house.
to the house,
That's
so it's
100.
over 150, it's over 150, I believe, 150.
157 feet.
The guest house is going to be modular.
Correct.
And you had, Ms. Smith had discussed the possibility of a possible hybrid stick / modular built on a big house to kind of speed up construction. Is that something that's still?
That is something that we're looking at, in order to do any mitigation and, minimize any impacts. And also be able to follow whatever the DEC and the Fish and Wildlife Foundation put in for the time restriction of construction. That's some of the items that we're looking into to be able to expedite the construction with minimal impact.
Good idea. And the main house will have a basement.
It's a walkout basement, so we're taking into account that we have rolling hills and on the lot. So one of the things to ensure we're mitigating and minimizing any natural resources impact is to actually use the topography to our advantage. So be able to use the rolling hills to do a walkout basement that will minimize any further excavation, any more fill in and things like that.
It looks beautiful.
It's a beautiful, and it's a beautiful,
Beautiful.
I walked up there today. It's so peaceful.
It is.
Kathy, do you have any questions for?
Just as long as, like everything else, that the DEC, they're your biggest issue. So, no, I think it's gonna look nice.
Kevin, they've already completed a short form seeker.
Mhm.
Do we need to do anything else?
You might want to do parts 2 and 3 for short form, just so if the DEC asks for it. I don't know. To me, it's a type 2 action. It's not up to me. It's you guys are the agency having jurisdiction. You're the approving agency. It's, if DEC comes back and says that it's unlisted, at least then you have it. You might want to do parts 2 and 3 and just make sure you dot all your I's.
All righty.
You don't have to, if you want to, I mean, you had the part one in the application. So if everyone's good with accepting it, you don't have to go through all the questions in part one and just do parts 2 and 3.
All right.
I think we should do the whole thing just to be,
Well,
I,
that's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever the board wants. I don't want to
don't trust.
one or the other.
no, you didn't mean that.
No.
One is done.
Okay,
We'll start on part 2.
I've got a question on part 1, if we can address that before we go to part 2.
Yes, sir.
On question 17, it said, will the proposed action create water discharge, stormwater discharge, either from point or non-point sources? And your answer is yes, okay. And will the stormwater discharge flow to adjacent properties? The answer to that is yes. Can you just elaborate on those answers a little bit?
The reason why drainage from this property will drain onto the adjacents is only because of the rolling topography as it is, the water, there's, I think if you start at the road, you're down on a dip, you're up on a hill, you're down on a dip, you're up on it, there's like 3 or 4 in the water is, you know, it's running off, sheet flowing down to these swales, so to speak, and running either north or south in whatever direction, because they go in different directions depending on which.
Yeah, it's
valley you're
aggressive,
at.
it's an aggressive topography
Exactly.
through there. So I guess my question would be, how do you mitigate that runoff issue?
You really don't. We're trying to minimize any of the grading and change any of the grading as much as possible by using houses that are built into the hill where you're maintaining the same topography, top of the house, bottom of the house, to walk out in both situations. You know, the front house, the main house toward the lake, the foundation runs with the topography, so you have a walkout situation, and then inversely, the modular house, it goes in the opposite direction.
Okay.
Yeah, toward the road.
So I guess my question is, because we're introducing a roof, which is going to collect
And pavement.
water, and pavement, which is going to collect water, we're increasing the flow rate, if you will, in specific areas. So
You do that with any residential development that was, you know, green, in this case, all green space, and you are introducing that into. We don't meet the thresholds for what the stormwater management control, a SWIP, so to speak. We're underneath the threshold of that, but the Speedies permit requires me to do erosion control measures on the property, which we have shown on the plans.
okay,
So I mean, like I said, we don't have to do post-construction mitigations, meaning, like you're saying, green space to impervious, because we don't meet the thresholds to require that for a project of this size.
okay, that's the question.
And there's a lot, there also is a lot of vegetated buffer from all the impervious surfaces that we have and the property lines that we have. There's a lot of vegetated area that's maintained and not disturbed to, again, provide the filtering, provide the infiltration that exists out there.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that, again, to go back into using topography to our advantage is for that reason, because you're actually just using the same contours that you have there, so it's the flow is following the same thing. We are, like I said, under the threshold for any stormwater management facilities or anything like that, but our plan, which we have been in touch with a lot of the communities, is to, so the site was cleared way before we bought it. One of the things that we've been looking into is also reestablish vegetation and reforestation back onto the lots.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Part 2. Will the proposed action create a material conflict with the adopted land use plan or zoning regulations?
No,
Okay. Will the proposed action result in change in the use of intensity of use of the land? It's small.
small,
Small.
no.
Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community?
No, or small.
Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area?
Small.
I would say small. Will, number 5, will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking or walkways?
No,
Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonable available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities?
Small.
I would say small.
yeah, agreed.
Number 7, will the proposed action impact existing public/private water supplies?
No,
Public/private wastewater treatment facilities?
No.
Number 8, will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historical, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources?
no,
No.
Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to the natural resources, wetlands, water body, groundwater, air quality, flora, or fauna?
No.
no, subject
Small.
to DEC input.
Well, number 10, will the proposed action result in an increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems?
No,
Small.
Small. Will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health?
No.
no,
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Getting that all built in and submitted. All right. We'll open this for public comment. Are we done with this time? Anybody present wish to make a comment? Anybody that's on Zoom wish to unmute and make a comment? Okay, hearing none, I'll close public comment. May I have a motion?
I'll move that we approve the site plan application as submitted.
Contingent.
Yes, contingent on ultimate input from Fish and Wildlife and Department of Environmental Conservation.
I will second that.
Should we add the forms we just,
Pardon me?
should we add the forms, the
Oh,
secret forms?
subject to the, or
Is that-
including the
Yes.
seekers.
Right, I would.
Yes, good practice. Yeah.
Good catch. Okay. I think we're back to you, Kathy.
I'm good.
Bill?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so it's one step closer.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Great project.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Looking forward to being part of the committee.
We're looking forward to you joining us.
Absolutely. Then I can do your stormwater.
Get out, so you can move it. All right.
We'll drag her
I
out.
apologize.
Have a great night. Thank you.
Mind if we sit here?
No, you stay right there.
You're the only ones left.
Yeah. This is my wife Nancy, and I'm Bobby Rudia, Nancy and Bobby Rudia. We live at 7961 Lake Road, and we submitted some plans. But as I'm looking here, there's a bird's eye view of our house that shows an exact picture of everything that we're doing. We're the house and the pool on the very end of that big picture right there. I think that picture has more land than we got now. Well, in the, on the north side. But anyway, what we're looking at doing is, we've been in the town for the village for 18 years. We moved here Fairport
We bought a single family home. We converted it eventually to 5 bedrooms, 5 baths. We rebuilt the pool. It was an old pool, 25 by 50 foot. Like 55,000 gallons of water. And we've got a pool house out there. And I was on the planning board here for 5 years. I was in the neighborhood association for about 4 years. And about 9 years ago, I got hurt in an accident in my house. I just tripped at night and hit a wall, and that's it. So we had someone living with us, and we decided after this person left, and I don't know if you're people that know Jerry Dodge, but Michelle's son moved up from Buffalo and stayed with us. And he was a bartender. He loved taking care of me so much for 3.5 years. He went to school and he's now a nurse at Strong at ICU. So he's doing well. But so Nancy's been running the B&B by herself, and it's gotten to be too much. So what we're doing is we really have a lot of good roots here. We have a lot of people we know who want to stay here. So we have, according to the plan, we have 5.5 acres. I think we're closer to 5 now. And we lost a big eastern section during the high water, so probably a 12-foot section. Luckily, it was only like about 150 foot of the 360. So, but it's still a big chunk. And all of a sudden, we had a fire pit, that kind of thing. So we're taking the front part of the property, and what we're doing is we're going from the driveway, and the driveway really is that line of trees that go against White Birch trailers there. And we're taking that and we're going from the driveway about 60 foot, almost to the line of the other big trees before you get to the grassy area. And we're going to do, if you notice there, about 220 feet by roughly 220 feet, comes out to roughly about an acre. And we're going to build a ranch home on there, and it'll be built by Gerber. And it's the footprint is small in comparison to everything we're doing there. So that's why we're partitioning the land. And we sold the B&B, and we sold it to people that actually got married there 10 years ago when we ran weddings before I got hurt. We did like 21 weddings there. And so they got married there, and they've come back every year. In the last 3 or 4 years, they've been asking us, if you ever think of doing it, we'd love to do it. And so we said, yeah, I think we're ready. So that's what we're trying to do right now. So we'll have that parcel there. Gerber Homes will be building it. And they've already contacted the water department. Unfortunately, the sewer water hookup is on the other side of the road. So it's on the south side. But they told us what the village can do, what they would charge us. And then they have to have a company come in that bores underneath the lake road to get that hookup. So that's what we're trying to do right now. Just split it up and then build a house up there. And then when we split it, then we would sell the 4 acres and the home to the new people who would like to run it as a B&B as well, and just continue what we've been doing. But which is good, because that's one of the main reasons we want to sell to these people. Because we were afraid if we sold it, we would sell it first before we were thinking of building, because I mean, it's a perfect, if you're going to have a Verbo or something like that, it's 6 bedrooms, 6 baths, a huge pool.
Lots of danger.
Yeah, you got a cliff there and a pool, and I wouldn't want neighbors like that. So this way we know the people. So that's what we're trying to do.
So right now, this is just asking for the subdivision, and then your future plans will be the house.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, do I have to come back with the house if it meets all the setbacks, heights and everything?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
now is that a new code change in the last few years? I'm just wondering because when I was on the board, if it met all the setbacks and everything, I just want to know if it met all the setbacks and everything, then the code enforcement officer would make that determination. And you would only come in front of the board here if you had a setback problem or you had a height restriction because you were going to put a.
So it was under Bob, it was under, I think Mike Sullivan. They got upset over, it wasn't like anyone got mad, but they changed the thresholds and they made it so anything over $10,000 an estimated cost, and it's by our estimate now, has to come to the planning board. And then there's an asterisk in the book for permitted uses that they added in 2000 and I'm going to make it up, but I think it's 2012. It might be 2008. It has to come to the planning board. And again, it was because they were frustrated that there weren't reviews happening. So they changed it around, I think it was 2012. I'm not sure when your time was that I'm sorry.
I was gone by then.
Oh, okay. So they were just frustrated with the amount that was coming to the planning board. And I'm sure the planning board would love not to have as many applications before them. But we review everything at this point, just because the asterisks and the threshold right now.
Okay. So you asked if I was just looking for the partition. Yeah. Do I have to come back or can I show you the plans right now? Okay, that's so
application.
okay.
But if you want, if you wanted to Zoom, I know it's kind of.
No, I understand. I just wanted to come down the first time just to, present what we had.
How big a house are you thinking of?
About 1,700 square feet.
Perfect.
So it's roughly about 64 by 45.
It's a good size range.
Yeah, but it's not
And a
huge.
two-car garage, and then the actual garage is beside the house. Attached. So
I'm excited for it.
yeah, so we.
Kevin, on this, lot division, that has to come back for.
Yeah, it'll have to come back to you. And so there's actually no restrictions on zoning because they meet all of them. So I'll review to see if it needs to go to zoning board, but I don't believe it has to go to zoning board. It doesn't have to go to county because it's not, I don't think there's any triggers under 239M. So it might just be planning board that has to review this. I'll know more on this within the next couple days and I'll have to advertise for it.
Oh, so you think it does not have to go to county?
Well, no, I don't think there's any triggers for 239M because there's no municipal boundaries. It's not on state or county highway because we own the road there. There's no zoning restrictions. I don't see a reason why it would have to go to county right now. I do know I have to check with Cheryl at the health department because she sent us a letter saying she wanted all real subdivisions, real property subdivisions, not boundary. This is a subdivision. So I have to see if the health department wants a chance at this. So that would be the only extra step that they would have.
And what is health department? What are they looking at?
I don't know.
I just think the health department is just trying to figure.
Is that new, Kevin?
It's extremely new. Within the last few months, I got an email from their engineer, Cheryl Robinson, saying she wanted all subdivisions sent to her.
Oh, geez.
So we
Okay.
need to vote on this?
Yes.
Okay. Public comment?
No.
I mean, it's up to you. I
meant
don't have this one listed as public comment because we
Okay.
usually
Didn't know.
at final for these.
Audience, if you'd like to make a comment, please do so.
Yeah.
Anybody who's on Zoom, if you wish to comment, please unmute yourself. Hearing none, public comment is closed. All right, may I have a motion?
Okay, go. No, go ahead.
I move to accept the proposed subdivision renewal 7961 Lake Road to subdivide a 210-foot, 210-foot by 210-foot plot of land from parcel for future development.
Okay,
Second,
Kathy seconds.
Just a question. Before you related that it was 220 by 220. The application provides 210 by 210.
We probably misspoke tonight.
Okay.
And as you notice there, it's roughly because
Yeah.
once you guys say, okay, then we'll have the survey done.
Okay.
So that we can have a survey for the property we're selling, and then have a survey for our property.
okay.
We just want to approve something that's inconsistent with what you want.
Yes,
Just complicate the process.
yes, like I said, it's just it's a rough estimate, but it's really close. That's when they did the rough estimates, that's what they did, so. Okay, thanks.
Okay, Mr. Gedlin,
Yes.
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 and I'm a yes, it's unanimous. We'll see you back here on the first.
Okay,
And
or
or
first or the
via
second.
Zoom.
The 7th.
Thank you, the seventh.
Okay, that's what I, yeah,
Yes, the
Yeah,
seventh.
we caught that
I
before.
thought we were doing
Now,
special meetings.
Special meetings for.
but, before I adjourn the meeting, I do
Wait.
need to talk to you guys.
How about Jordan?
Oh, Doherty, how did I skip Doherty?
There's one more.
I apologize to the
Joel's
Doherty.
on Zoom. Yeah, he's been patiently waiting.
Can I just ask one more question
Yes.
about ours? You have given the approval, yes. We'll come back with the plans. And, so is there an issue if my builder starts to, take out my dead brush, things of that nature, and just start to clean up our brush area, because we're keeping the,
As long as no construction.
yes,
takes place.
no construction, that's, okay, we'll see it.
Real quick, one thing to mention, Bob, and I didn't even think about this, Bruce. There is, you guys put on Matt Nowak's property, the 50-foot no big tree buffer on Lake Road. Do you guys?
Yeah, good point.
I don't know if you guys want to discuss just before you take any big trees down.
Oh, we're only taking dead trees down.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
not, we want to keep every tree that we can. So we have, as you and I discussed before, you had brought that up.
Yep. It just Matt Nowak had gotten a condition, and I just wanted to make sure it was
Yeah.
at least brought up in the meeting.
Most of it, if you look, is just some dead growth and then a bunch of like weeds that look like trees, but it's just, and in this case, it's okay because it
Well, I
blocks.
might as well take out any ashes in there.
Yeah,
Just as Kevin, it's a point of, not to prolong this, but as a point of process here is if they have plans, can they provide those plans to you so that when they return next meeting for final approval of the subdivision, we can also do preliminary review of the building plans?
Yeah, that's fine.
okay. Good, we could give those to them.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
because they'll be in on time, they'll be in on time,
What's that?
because they'll be in on time, the
Right.
5 days, so,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, so
And yeah, we have them. We'll drop them off. We brought them tonight, but we'll drop them off tomorrow.
they're interested in expediting, so we can.
Just
move the
before it
process.
snows.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's 3 weeks before our next meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your patience.
And to the Dohertys, I apologize for being so long and for being almost forgetting you.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that you've heard from the DEC as far as, you'll have to unmute yourself, Joel.
Yes, we have the permit, which I gave to Kevin, emailed them, and everything seems to be in place according to the E DEC.
All right. The plans have not changed since the,
No, nothing has changed at all.
And I believe I just have it in the folder, and I think I sent you guys a copy of the DEC letter from Scott.
I can't say that I've seen.
I
that.
haven't seen it either.
No,
You have it there on the table, Bruce, in Joel's folder.
Want to read it? We'll see. Time.
Facility location in Sodus and Wayne County, Sodus Point with the reference point of latitude and longitude, construction of an addition to the existing residence consisting of an approximately 650 square foot garage as well as a 596 square foot living space built on posts. The proposed project is within the 100-foot regulated adjacent area of Class C freshwater wetland SP-6. Work will occur in existing maintained lawn area with no disturbance in the wetland proper. Work to be performed per the plans referenced in natural resources condition number 1, permit authorizations, permit ID 8-5442-00552/0001, effective date 7/13/23, with an expiration date of 12/31/2025 for the property at 8185 Centel Street, Sodus Point, New York, 14555.
Thank you. Once again. Thank you.
okay. Anybody needs to look at the,
no, I'm saying.
No.
No.
all right, discussion,
We need to do a seeker.
Kevin, does this require a seeker?
It's type 2 and the DEC didn't require it. So if the board feels comfortable with type 2s don't require a seeker. So if the board feels comfortable, we don't need it.
I'm comfortable.
I'm comfortable.
Okay,
I'll move that we approve the give final site plan approval to the
for the DEC.
Yeah.
letters attached.
yes, with the DEC letter attached. Thank you.
I'll second that.
All right. I lost count where I started.
Yes,
Yes,
Yes.
Yes.
yes, it's unanimous. Joel, congratulations.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing it. I know it was a long process getting that letter, but
And the meeting was just as long.
Sorry
Yeah,
about
that's all right, because the amount of time it took to get that letter, a couple of minutes or hours isn't gonna matter because it was quite a process. But I appreciate it, and you know, we're gonna follow all of the DEC recommendations and everything as we do our job.
All right, thank you.
appreciate it. I apologize for getting rattled today.
That's fine.
Thank you. Before we adjourn, meeting with Cal. 31st, some people can make, some people can't.
It's an anniversary.
That's kind of important.
Yeah. So.
I apologize. But
So is there another date that people might like on Wednesday?
Wednesday, the
22nd. Second,
I'm out of town,
on which one?
the second.
All right.
how about the first?
I could probably do the first.
Yeah, I think if you do.
Actually, no, I can't. I'm sorry.
First of,
How
First of
about-
August.
I don't know.
How about the second?
I'm out of town.
How about the 26th?
26th,
August 26th.
July 26th.
July 26th. I am available.
No,
I
Wednesdays are
can't do
bad.
it next week.
Pardon me?
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, Wednesdays are bad. I have family issues I take care of.
Yeah, I'm up to here with family stuff all next week.
Yeah,
How about the 24th?
Well, that's, this room would be
Okay.
taken.
Did we talk about the third?
I'm out of town.
You're out of town. Okay.
Do you want the board to submit? I have to ask if it's, so I know we got to make sure it's all open, but the board could submit questions that they have with the current changes to the plans to Mark Costage or you, and then you could have whomever show up to a meeting you advertise, and you can answer all those questions at one time. Does that make everyone feel comfortable? Or no?
And to have that meeting recorded. And
Yeah, obviously
Available
open to the public.
Right, and I would like to have a second follow-up for any questions that might arise from being answered.
Right.
I know it's not as easy because you'll ask a question, he'll answer it, and then you might have a follow-up question, so it stinks. But at least your your first questions can get answered, and we're not.
I mean, if we had to, I probably could do the first.
The first,
I mean, just look at wherever you have the majority of members.
The board could do it on the 31st, and I could just submit questions in advance and listen to the
was
tape.
it 31st?
That's a Tuesday.
Yeah, I think the 31st work for you.
31st.
first, yeah.
All right, well, let's do the 31st.
Said that.
You submit your questions, have it taped, like always. And, then we'll see about.
And it'll be open for public comment?
No,
No, okay,
it's a work session,
okay, I'm just clarifying in my own brain.
it's a work session,
Okay.
and,
July 31st.
the 31st, yes, please.
And just to clarify, because I understand where the confusion lies with what is and what isn't public comment. I can't do on the website when you guys have an open meeting and there is public comment. So like you have preliminary, that in the book says you have to have public comment for preliminaries. So then it's a public meeting open for public discussion. I can't say which applications are or aren't open for public comment, but there's certain ones that are and aren't.
Kevin, it didn't matter what. I could have stood on my head, windowed Dixie, and we were still. You know.
Well, sometimes it's the way it's worded that Kevin puts on the,
Yeah, sometimes it's open, like, so if there's only finals or only fence applications, the public's open to observe. Other times, the public's open to comment for just the preliminaries. Like, I wish there was a better way to word it. I just don't have a better way to word it.
David already asked me, and I had told him, it was not. Public comment. He says, I don't respond to his emails. I respond to the first 4, the 5th one that got the same questions, I didn't respond to.
So that meeting will be scheduled for 7 p.m. on the 31st.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Have a good night, guys.
Thanks, Kevin.
You guys,
Get you those forms.
all right, perfect. Thank you.
Thanks,
Hey,
Kevin.
how'd the golfing go?
Oh, well, we were 5 under for our scramble, I think.
Oh, wow.
5 or 4. Well, it's Senator Helming does a 2-putt maximum. So as long as you're on the green and you putt, you're pretty much always putting for par. So it's a fun day. So the mayor did really well. He was one of my partners and we did really well. I think the winners were 14 under for the day. So it's hard to compete with that. Yeah.
Were there mulligans and skins involved as well?
Yes, mulligans, skins, skirts, kilts, a couple dice rolls. So on the par fives, you could pay $20 and roll dice to see if you get a hole in one. So yeah, there was quite a bit of different charitable things going on. So
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I came to see you today. You weren't there.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. And they could only find one thing for me, so.
So if ever you guys are looking for things over on my laptop, the sign laptop, right below is the stack of everything current.
They
That's where,
didn't know where to look, so,
yeah, I'll remind them where everything is.
okay.
well, it wasn't a good day in the office, so. Okay.
Have a good night, guys. We'll see you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Yep.